because people will not be I finally this day, I got my money. You can't touch it back, but I don't touch it. I finally this day, I got my money.
Okay. So one link is for YouTube, another one is for Zoom. Okay. I just hope the Wi-Fi is on my side today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please, we'd like to be sure the program is starting now. We'd like to be sure that you can hear us loud and clear. Please, can you just say a word and unmute your mic after? We are starting now. Can you hear? Mr. Moses, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm on the road.
Okay.
Can you hear?
Please mute your mic thereafter, please. Let all of us mute our mics. The program starts now. We are sorry for the little delay.
We can hear you now. We can hear you loud and clear.
So, the program will start with an opening prayer, and that's to be rendered by the acting dean of students, Dr. Mrs. Esther Abba. We are taking the opening prayer.
Father Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for another opportunity to be gathered together in this 12th annual general meeting. Lord, we ask that you will be with us, that you will give us soundness of mind, and you will help us to articulate everything we want to say, everything we want to discuss here. That we will make this meeting fruitful, guide our deliberations, propel the University of Technology forward for the sake of our children and for posterity. And at the end of today's meeting, everything will be better off by reason of this meeting. Give us grace to go back to our homes, wherever we have gone from safely. Let your name be glorified in Jesus' name.
Please, let's use our earpiece and mute ourselves. Once we are not talking, please. Let's be on our earpiece, please, and mute ourselves, because there are so much background noise now. Thank you, ma'am, for the opening prayer. We move on to the introduction of officials that are here with us. We have with us our amiable Vice Chancellor, Professor Jeremiah Ojediron, with us. Also, we have the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Olubukola Kuforiji, with us in the house. Also, we have with us the Registrar, Mr. L.S. Tafa, with us, and also the Bossa, Mr. Shina Adepoju, with us. And also our brand new university librarian, Dr. Felicia Yusuf, is with us. And also joining us on the university side is the acting dean of students, Dr. Esther Abam, who gave the opening prayer. On the BUPF side, we have in-house the executive led by our own Mr. Rotimi Dosumu, and also the General Secretary, Mr. David Oladapo. Also, we have the Assistant General Secretary 1, Mrs. Taiwo Olatunji, and also the Assistant General Secretary 2, Mrs. Ruth Olubojo. And we also have joining on Zoom, on transit, Mr. Moses Pamo. And we have live with us also Mr. Adebisi Adeyemo, who is the Financial Secretary of BUPF. Also, we have Mr. Opeoluwa Alebiosu, who is the Treasurer, and also Dr. Emmanuel Ajayi, who is the Auditor, and also Mrs. Diana Ologwan, the outgoing Legal Advisor. We also have with us Mr. Akaniyene Obots, who is S Official 1 and the former Chairman. And we use this opportunity to remember a departed colleague in the BUPF in person of late Mrs. Olabisi Badiala. So before we go on, please can we have a minute silence to remember the departed soul? Thank you. May the soul, may our gentle soul rest in purpose, peace in Jesus' name. Thank you. Having done that, we'll go on into the program by taking the chairman's opening address. I have the singular honor to call on the chairman Bupf, Mr. Rotimi Dosumu, to present the chairman's opening address. Thank you, sir.
I'm very delighted to welcome you all to this annual meeting of Bupf University Parent Forum, UPF, and to present for your consideration our stewardship report for the year ended 31st August 2020 and the audited statement, financial statement as at that date. It is an opportunity to formally welcome the parents and their guardians whose words have just been matriculated to the forum, and to congratulate the student for the bold step forward toward gaining a university education. As earlier noted, a member of the executive forum, Mrs. Olabisi Bajela, SOP2, and two other parents died during the year with their souls in peace. Executive activities. All the 5 scheduled executive meetings and 2 emergency meetings were held to ensure the smooth running of the forum's activities. In accordance with the constitution of the forum, the tenure of some executive member will end after these meetings. Though they are eligible for election, I dearly appreciate their selflessness in service to the forum and pray for heavenly reward for their contributions. To this end, election shall be held to fill vacant positions in the executive at the next possible physical meeting. Also, the executive shall be laying before this meeting for ratification some welfare proposal for the benefit of our wards in case of the unexpected. Meeting with management. The BUPF executive interaction with the university management was sustained, resulting in mutual understanding and better appreciation of our roles and contributions. The executive met with the management 3 times, during which parents' roles, BUPF projects, student welfare, security and safety of life and properties on campus, with other issues of concern were discussed. Members' communication platform. The need for interaction between executive and members of parent forum was boosted during the year with the creation of a Telegram platform. Members not yet on the platform are enjoined to kindly join. First-hand information are being shared, explanations to issues are being made, contributions by parents are being heard, and solutions to seeming problems profiled on matters of common interest. It is worthy to note that as such, today we have on board over 300 members on the platform. 7th annual seminar series. The annual seminar series of the Bay University Parents Forum may not take the conventional form this year in view of the state of the nation and global pandemic reality. We will, however, explore how to achieve the objective of the event without unduly undermining members' safety in course of the year. Security and safety on campus. The positive effort of the Vice Chancellor and University management is commendable. It should be sustained while putting in place strategies at meeting new challenges on campus. Safety is personal responsibility with collective obligation to enforce. We parents equally have a role to play. Intervention. Reading room and facility of 330 seating capacity spread across all the 6 halls of residence for the use of our students. As a subtle way of encouraging COVID-19 safety measures compliance, BUPF procured 2,500 sets of safety kits consisting of mobile bags, hand sanitizer, liquid soap, and nose cover for free distributions to students on resumption. Presently, we are working on multi-purpose hall for a 1,000 seat capacity modern conference center. The process of instituting BUPF prizes for best graduate students in each college of convocation is at advanced stage. The process of establishing education support fund of at least 10% from annual levy shall be created to cater for indigent students occasioned by such of to ensure no students drop out of university on death of sponsor. outstanding levy. The 18.9 billion from Kano State government sponsored students remain a source of concern to this executive. Many overtures at the call have not yet yielded desired results, but we are hopeful as university management continues to assure us of its recoverability. Financial report. The financial report for the year ended 1st August 2020 will be presented at the appropriate time in the course of this meeting for your consideration adoption. Conclusion. Let me once again welcome all the new parents to the forum and plead with them to sign out to be part of the forum activity. I'm very grateful to all executive members for their robust contribution at meetings. I pray for journey mercy for all as we come back to our days. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, sir, for the chairman's opening address. Moving on, I have the honor to call on our Vice Chancellor, Professor Jeremiah Ojedron, to give the Vice Chancellor's address to the BUPF 12th General Annual General Meeting. Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you very much, moderator, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Bossa, and our brand new University Librarian, Chairman BUPF, and all members of the executive. Let me singularly recognize the immediate past president, Chairman of BUPF, all other members, and the new parents. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this auspicious occasion of the 12th Annual General Meeting of the Bells University Parent Forum here in Ota. On behalf of the promoter, the president and members of BOT, the chancellor, the pro-chancellor, chairman. Sorry, there's a music going on. Thank you. The pro-chancellor, chairman, members of governing council, senate, management staff and students of Bells University of Technology, Ota. I welcome all our new parents, the stellites among the parents and guardians to celebrate this event with us. I hope you all witnessed the virtual matriculation ceremony earlier this morning. Reason being that quite a lot have been raised during my speech this morning. While the event was mainly for our children, the matriculants, it is imperative that you too, as parents and our partners, understand the rules of engagement for these young ones, as well as have firm understanding that we intend to work together with you to bring out the best in them. The reality is that we are not immune to the reality of the larger society, especially on infrastructural and municipal matters. What's obtainable in the larger society affects us here as well. But I must state that we go to a great length to ensure that municipal services remain uninterrupted as much as possible. Like I said earlier, we recognize you as partners with us in shaping the minds of the young ones, and particularly in equipping them with the needed skills and tools that will make them stand out as resounding successes in future, thereby making you proud of your investments in their lives. On this, there's a need for a thorough understanding of the reality as concerns our students, your words. We are working hard to ensure that municipal services are as uninterruptible as possible. And whenever they're interrupted, we work towards getting them back quickly online. Academic performance of students. I had advised the students to make friends with their course and level advisors. This is because we had had situations in the past whereby parents were kept, parents were kept in the dark on the performance of the children. Okay. Of the children, and mostly by the time they got to know, it was often almost too late. We are working on parents having access to the results as and when due. I'm very sure that Dr. Daramola had been doing some great job in this area and will keep on doing so. May I inform our parents and guardians gathered here today and also online that the BUPF is a unique platform created for our parents to partner with the university at mutually identified stages. I'm glad to inform you that the BUPF had been active partner in progress of this university over the years, and its footprints are indeed indelible and commendable. Permit me to openly appreciate BUPFs for its various interventions over the years with the provision of facilities and infrastructure for the university. We are very proud of the officials and all members of the forum in its drive towards providing a conducive learning environment for students and improving the social activities on campus. Some of your contributions, there are about 19 of them that are listed right from 2009 to 2009 to as recent as 2020. The CCTV, biometric, and CBT system are landmark during the tenure of this administration. The 500 kVA transformer is being appreciated. Reading rooms in the halls, as mentioned by the chairman, has aided the university tremendously and has reduced loitering around during the night. The COVID-19 prevention materials provided for the students was an added value to the university during the 2020 lockdown and thereafter. All these are apart from the various seminars and talks the forum had held over the years, all addressing topical issues as they affect the young ones and in the society. I'm glad to state that the forum is meeting our needs in ensuring that your wards, who are our students, get the best. And these interventions are deeply appreciated. Once again, we say thank you for your thoughtfulness and you're being very proactive. Not only are you making these physical contributions to the university, but we have found you as good sounding boards for our novel ideas, which are aimed at making our students stand out among their peers after graduation. Our graduates are especially prepared to be creators of jobs on leaving this university, instead of contesting with others for the limited spaces. I am proud to say that it is indeed the beginning of a new era of great news here at Bells. We all know what happened within the last 1 year. The COVID-19 pandemic crept on us, and we all, as a society, are still battling with its debilitating effects. Every aspect of our lives were negatively impacted. Many are yet to recover, and many may not be able to recover, God forbid. But during the period of lockdown and all, we refused to be discouraged. As we kept pushing on, we shifted to online lecture delivery. Again, thanks to the Bupf for making the CBT ready at the appropriate time, which came very handy during that period. So while we kept on moving on our facilities and infrastructure, we partnered with the alumni to renovate one of our halls and gave palliatives to various categories of lower income staff. This was a period when no income was available for all, yet we did not owe our staff till today. We were prudent with the limited resources at our disposal. We kept up hope, and our academic session did not suffer, as we were able to complete it with very little disruption. It is instructive to note that this new session brought with it an unprecedented subscription to our programs, so much that we had to stop admission due to the oversubscription to some of our programs. This stretched our facilities so much. This stretched our facilities so much that we had to reactivate an old hostel facility and quickly put it in shape to accommodate our students. We may not be able to get our facilities in the best shapes for this, but it is an ongoing and long process. Let me use this medium to assure you, our parents, that we will keep improving on our facilities and infrastructure. I'm glad to announce that our various concerted efforts have begun to pay off. For the first time, Bells University of Technology is listed in the Times Higher Educational Ranking. This means we have been reckoned with globally as a university of note. As good as this is, it serves as a call to do more. We will not rest on our oars, as we will do everything possible to move rapidly up the rankings. I'm sure you all will be proud to read of our improvements by world-renowned bodies as our infrastructures, the quality of our faculties improve. One effort we have consciously been doing is to headhunt notable researchers and bring them here. We are poised to make Bells Tech very conducive for academic teaching and research. Also worthy of note and celebration is the fact that one of our staff was recently rated number 50 among the top 500 researchers in Africa. We are proud to inform you that no effort will be spared in ensuring that our students, your own children, get the very best of education. Also of note is the fact that another of our lecturers was recently awarded as a fellowship of the Global Young Academy. As a fellow of the Global Young Academy, this academy gives a voice to young researchers and scientists around the globe. And to realize its vision, the academy aims at developing, connecting, and mobilizing young talent from the 6 continents and empower them to lead international, interdisciplinary, and intergenerational dialogue with the goal to make global decisions, making evidence-based and inclusive. One of our lecturers in College of Engineering, Dr. Akinyele, was recently awarded a fellowship of the Global Young Academy. This academy gives a voice to young researchers around the world, and to realize their vision, academies are developing and connecting these young men around the globe. These are to show you that we are not resting on our works in ensuring that we offer the best to these young ones. May I also inform you, our dear parents, that we are eager to listen to your comments and complaints with the very intent of addressing them. The state of our facilities at the halls of residence, such as lack of fans, electric sockets, windows, nets, and most especially the plumbing to water use. All this are being attended to, and it's a gradual process which we intend to bring to a conclusion very soon. We also note from complaints that there's a high cost of food items by the vendors. This is also being looked into by a committee which takes care of the food costs and food items. Extortion by some portals is also being looked into by the Dean of Student Affairs and the management. In conclusion, may I, on behalf of our promoter, President and Chairman of Board of Trustees, Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, Chairman of Governing Council, Senate staff and students of this university, congratulate all members of the executive, as well as both old and new members on this auspicious occasion. I wish you all a successful deliberation at this meeting. God bless you and sustain you. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
For the address, and I think he deserves another. So, he has successfully captured most of the yearnings as we have in recent time by parents and students. We thank you, sir, for that address, sir. Going on, I'll hand over to the chairman of Bupf, that's Mr. Otimidosu. On the next item, consideration and adoption of the minutes of the 11th annual AGM held on 11th January 2020. And that will lead to the matters arising from that minutes. Chairman, sir.
Page 12. Okay, from page 10 to page 16. 12 to 16. Page 12 to page 16. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 14.
Chairman, I think page 14, the treasurer's report should read financial report.
Let's effect that change. Page 15. Page 15. Page 16. So I haven't kept, yes, observation. So I haven't gone through the minute of last meeting held on the 11th January 2020 with slight observation or correction on page 14. Once there's no further observation, can we have somebody in the house to move for the adoption, acceptance of the minute? Yes, who is moving?
I so move.
Second. So it's been adopted formally. Thanks for that. Next on the agenda is the item number 6 on page 7, matters arising from the minute. I will say that I thank the VC for the robust speech he has delivered. He has virtually covered all the matters arising in his speech. But we might just need to go through one or two for purpose of emphasis. Earlier, the communication with members of Parent Forum, we've reported it boosted, given the number of participants on our Telegram platform. As of now, we have about 350 members, active members on the platform. And in my report, questions are being asked, answers are being given It has greatly been a welcome and an educative platform. I want to thank Dr. Daramola for his able and robust contribution and prompt response to issues raised by parents on the platform. Thank you once again, Dr. Daramola. On the issue of many things, issue of infrastructure, water shortages, the FCC has touched on it. They are working on it, and things are improving by the day. CBTC intervention project and the impact during the COVID period, the VC has equally touched and dwelt so much on it, and we thank God for the intervention, and that is the good impact of when good minds meet, things get better. The FCC, thank you, and I equally wish to thank especially my able immediate past chairman for the chairman, and Mr. Oladapo, the secretary, for their robust and the input, apart from the support of the institute or of the body. They contributed and inputted their private time to ensure the delivery of the project. We never knew time would come for such issues, but it was delivered on time, and the impact on the university is better imagined. Thanks for that. The reading room project, well, we thank God for that. The conference center project. We've been doing much of table work. And I think our planning is now at advanced stage that I will probably see immediately after this meeting, we'll be equally going for a special meetings towards moving the project forward. And by the grace of God, in a very short while, we will equally deliver the project. It's a good dream for all of us. And with cooperation and assistance in course of delivery of the project from the university management, I think we will seek their cooperation and assistance, especially in terms of some support from the university in course of executing the project. We look forward to that. So whenever we seek, please, we will expect your timely response. So those are things that has been observed under matters arising. Just for emphasis, they've all been touched in course of the FCC's address and the chairman's address. Let me stop at that. If there are one or two comments from both people here present and those online before we move to the next matter on the agenda. Thank you, sir.
Sean. What the chairman has said to us is that most of the things that we highlighted at the last AGM as being things that we'll be looking at in the future have been either completed or being worked on, particularly the student reading room, which was approved at the last AGM. The ESCO have completed on it, and students now in all the halls of residence have extra room that they can go in the night after night out to do their night reading. The VC has also highlighted in his report on water shortage and cost of living on campus as it relates to students. And he has also graciously informed the House that the university has set up a committee to look into it. The ESCO offered in the course of this year will also be meeting with the university management on this matter to see the extent that they have gone, because we need to come back to the House to say that which we discussed about, this is how far we have gone. We've noted very serious complaint among parents, so we wish that we note the VC's commitment on this and work together to resolve the issue. The other thing is that the chairman has also informed us about the plans that we have for the future, which hopefully we'll be seeking approval from this meeting. We really appreciate to have that approval so that the ESCO will be able to attend to these things on our behalf, because if we don't have the approval, it will be difficult to deal with it. So we pray that all of us who are listening online and those who have been able to come in here will together help in order to ensure that the ESCO has what to work on, because if we don't have the approvals, then we may not be able to achieve much in the year that is ahead of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. Thank you for comments. That was short. Let me also say that if we have comments, we can drop this in the chat room. Already I have seen comments in the chat room. So please, let's put our names, our questions or comments as the situation may be in the chat rooms. We will take it under AOB and we'll try to address some of them. Thank you. Having taken matters arising from the last annual general meeting, I will still come back to the chairman to attend to the substantive matters. Substantive matters, which are 1, the student welfare, and 2, presentation of financial reports. And another thing we are adding, there is a third item we are adding, not listed either too, is the auditor's report. So I will hand over to the chairman to attend to substantive matters under student welfare. Chairman, sir.
During our meetings, several meetings during the year, we look at it that, as reported in my speech, that at times some things will happen that we don't plan for. And if such thing happen, what becomes the fate of our words that are already in the system? We requested for list of parents or sponsors that passed on in the last 12 years or so since the commencement of the university. And we have it on record that we've lost about 33 parents or sponsors. We now look at it that what becomes of their awards? Have we had some of them dropping out on account of inability to pay? And we said, okay, given that, as the parent forum, one of the paramount welfare due to students is to ensure that they keep their education up. We are now proposing that we should have what we call education support fund in form of an endowment. Okay, in form of an endowment out of the annual levy by parents. We've looked at it and we said, let's put 10% of the annual levy as endowment fund towards such eventuality. Our concern now is not even the parent mostly, but the sponsor, the backbone of that student. Should a sponsor die or passed on, and the student is on the verge of losing his studentship on account of inability to pay, the parent forum should look for a way out and support. So we should look for a way out to support and push through the education of such students, rather than allow them to drop off and become another thing to the society. So we are putting it forward for ratification as a proposal, so we can go ahead with it. We will still, in course of time, work out the modality of the sponsorship. It may not be 100%, but it will be substantial enough not to allow the student to drop off the system on account of death or passing away of the sponsor. I believe if we all pass this, the posterity will not frown at us, and it will further fulfill what the body stands for in terms of welfareism of students. So I'm putting it across to the parents to give us a go ahead to implement. Thank you. Comment, please.
Please, at this time, the chairman expects parents at home to comment to this proposal. So can we have comments? approval, modification, or disapproval from parents that are watching us online? Mr. Adekeye Akinola, you can see your comment that you are supporting the idea. Thank you.
Supported, please.
Supported. Who is speaking, please?
Akinola Adekeye.
Okay, Mr. Akinola Adekeye. Thank you. We need somebody else to support that. Somebody outside the ESCO, please. For those that are listening to us or watching Zoom or Zoom, please. Are we together? Okay, Mr. Iyari, I think I could see a comment. Iyari, thank you for supporting the move. Thank you. Chairman, we can move on, please. Then we have also Mrs. Fumi Amuson, who are supported. Mrs. Williams are supported. So we have them. Thank you. Chairman.
So thank you, fellow parents. Thank you, fellow parents. That is it. We have the mandate of the parents to go ahead with the proposal from the Executive Council regarding education support fund of 10% of annual due in endowment for the purpose of So thank you. We move forward on that. I don't know whether Fisi would like to say one or two things on that.
Thank you very much. I'm just simply excited at the thoughtfulness of I'm just simply excited at the thoughtfulness of the executive, looking really inwards. Especially when somebody has passed on. It's a laudable project. I'm sure management will fully support this. And when necessary, we shall give information to be useful to the executive to do this. 10% is okay. We commend you for this objective, this laudable objective, which will move the university forward. Thank you, sir. So the second item on substantive matter is the Chairman of Financial Report. And that will be done by the Financial Secretary. Over to you, Financial Secretary.
The Vice Chancellor, Chairman, PF, all protocol duly observed. It's a privilege and honor to present the financial report of the forum for the year ended 31st August 2020. The financial report is set out in our brochure from page 20 to page 29. And the basis of this report is presented based on what we call accounting policy. And the policy is set out on page 23, showing the basis of account, the depreciation policy, receivable, credit policy, revenue, and project donation. The first item is presented on page 20, and that is the statement of financial position. And to some of us who are old school, this is what we call the balance sheet. It gives us, in summary, the status of the financial situation of the forum, showing our assets as well as our liabilities and our funds. Still on page 20, we have the non-current assets, which are the assets that we have. For 2020, we have 249,540 naira. The breakdown of this we can find on page 24, note 1. After that, we have the current assets. These are assets that are available for us, and we can easily convert to cash, or they are also cash equivalent. We have receivable, basically the money due to the forum, and we have the detailed breakdown of this is presented on page 24. For 2020, we have 43.8 million naira, and for previous year, we have 33.8 million naira. For other receivables, we have the details presented on page 25. Our cash, our physical cash and cash equivalent for 2020 is 13.1 million, and the breakdown we have also on page 25, showing the cash that we have and the one in the bank. Our total current assets for 2020 is 57 million naira, compared to the previous year of 72 million naira. And our total assets for the year 2020 is 57.3 million naira. For previous year, we have 72 million naira. Generally, we look at it as a reduction. The main reason is the fact that once we conclude a project, we donate it, and it does not appear as if we are having a project on hand. So that is the main reason. As you can see in the previous year, we are having 38 million naira. These are funds that were ready then, that we invested on the computer-based project. And for our liabilities, which is our obligations that are due for payment in the next 1 year, we have for 2020 the sum of 1.2 million naira. And the breakdown is shown on page 25 as in note 5. And finally, for the last item on the balance, the financial position, we have unrestricted income. We have the breakdown in note 6 on page 26. For current year is 56 million, and for previous year is 25.4 million. As you can see, this is what I just explained. What we have started in the previous year, we have completed it, has moved to our unrestricted income. Next after that is page 21, where we have the income statement. Some people call it profit and loss, but because we don't have the objective of this forum is not for profit making. So another way to this is income and expenditure account. It gives us, in summary, the revenue that has been generated in the last 1 year, as well as the expenditure of those revenue, the surplus, and how we have treated the surplus. For 2020, for the year ended 2020, our total revenue is 51.5 billion naira, compared to the previous year of 43.8 billion naira. We have the breakdown of that revenue shown on page 26, in note 7. For our expenditure, we try to break it to program services, management and general expenses, support services, and finance charge. We have details in our brochure. And for program services, we have the breakdown on page 26 as note 8. For management and general expenses, we have 2.5 million for the current year. Breakdown, we have on page 27. So also we have support service breakdown and finance charge for the year, properly analyzed in page 27. Our surplus in the year, we have 44.1 million. And for the previous year, we have 36.4 million. The utilization of our surplus fund, we have it. The breakdown, we have 28, note 12. So that gives us the summary of our revenue performance or income performance in the year 2020. The next page, we have a statement of cash flow or cash flow statement. Give us vividly the physical movement of the forum for the year, what we generated in our records. We have what we call adjustments for non-cash items like depreciations as well as provisions. These are transactions that does not involve movement of cash, which we add back to our revenue to really get the actual cash that came in the year. And now we have the movement in our assets. The total cash generated, we have 30.8 million naira. And we now have movement. How did we use that cash? What did we buy? What did we acquire over the year? And we have total change in our cash position as 25.2 million in terms of outflow in the year. And by the time we add the cash at the opening of the year, we have closing cash balance of 13.1 million naira, compared to last year where we have 38.3 million. Like I said, and for purpose of emphasis, the cash position at the end of the previous year was what we used for the computer-based and other intervention the forum did for the university. So that's the status of the financial report of the forum. What we have thereafter are just additional information like I referred to. We have them from page 24 up till page 28. And last but not the least, we have what we call the financial summary. The financial summary will give us information about the performance of the forum in the last 5 years, showing our position in terms of our financial position, what assets do we have, what are our current assets, what are our total assets, as well as our liability and net income and the fund. We also have information here as regards our income in the last 5 years, as well as surplus for the year, utilization of the surplus, and we have information about the number of students that paid the parent forum. Thank you very much.
Okay.
let's have suggestion. Let's have the financial report approval from the House. We will not mind suggestion or motion from in-house to move forward. Let's have motion accepting and adopting the financial report as presented by the Financial Secretary. So thank you. We move to the third item on the substantive matters, the auditor's report. It's been seconded. Auditor's report, please. We can move to page 19. That's where we have the auditor's report. No. It should come after. In-house.
I hereby present the auditor's report to members of Best University Parents Forum. We have audited the financial statement of Best University Parent Forum set out on pages 20 to 29, which have been prepared based on the accounting policy as set out on page 23. Let me reiterate here that it is the Forum Executive Council that is responsible for the preparation of financial statements. Why it is our opinion, it is our responsibility to form an opinion on that financials, basis of our opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with the international standard on auditing issued by the International Federation of Accountants. Here, an audit includes examination on a test basis of evidence relevant to the amount and disclosure in the financial statement. It also includes an assessment of the significant estimate and judgment made by the directors in the preparation of the financial statement and whether the accounting policies are appropriate to the BUPF circumstances, consistently applied and adequately disclosed. We plan and perform our audit so as to obtain all the relevant information and explanation which we consider necessary in order to provide us with sufficient evidence to give a reasonable assurance that the financial statements are free from material misstatement. In forming our opinion, we also evaluate the overall adequacy of the presentation of the information in the financial statement. The financial statement is in agreement with the books of account which have been kept, and we obtain information and explanation that we feel we require. Opinion. In our opinion, the financial statement gives a true and fair view of the state of the affairs of the forum as at 31st of August 2020, and of the income statement for the year ended on that date, and have been properly prepared in accordance with the generally accepted auditing standard and BUPF constitution. Thank you and God bless you.
We thank the auditor for that report. Moving on to go to AOB, and we are looking at, okay. Do we need comments on the auditors report and Chairman, sir? We are calling for the adoption of the auditors' reports. Can we have the auditors' reports being supported from people listening to us or watching us on YouTube or Zoom? Any of our parents? Having listened to the financial report, the auditors' reports, can we just adopt it and let's have a second for us to move on? Thank you.
To move forward, there's.
Who is adopting?
Let's have the motion.
Who is adopting the auditor's report? Dr. Mrs. Abam has adopted and seconded by Mr. Oladapo. Thank you. We'll go into the any other business AOB. We'll try to take some live questions if we have. We'll take some live questions if we have, and if we have exhausted that, then we'll go into the chat room to see if we can take others before we take the adjournment. So if we have any comments, we can quickly make that or ask any questions. We are live on YouTube and on Zoom now. Thank you. We have comments. But meanwhile, let me say that when we make comments, let's put our name, let's put our phone numbers and email in the chat room as we make our comments so that we can know who is actually making the comments. There are some that have joined us that will just have the name of their phones or their gadgets being recorded. So please, let's endeavor to put our name, phone number, and emails. And let me also add that the AGM booklets, the program, has been sent to the web administrator. It will be uploaded so that we can download it to be on our website. Our website is www.bellsuniversityparentsforum.org. www.bellsuniversityparentsforum.org. And I will try to display that on the screen before we finish. And when we get to our website, we'll see also our Telegram link, which I will try to display before we close this meeting. So do we have comments? Or we should go directly to the chat room? Okay, going to the chat room, we have some comments. Somebody says, let us know when the internet access will get to Silver 3 and other hostels. That's a comment, it's noted. Please, can we have a timeline for the water shortage and the food price increase? That is, then that should be noted. I think, so maybe.
Well, I think we, Chairman, I will respond. Okay.
I think we should look at the comment first. So, comments at once then. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
The issue on food price and hostel accommodation. I think these are issues that have just come up in recent times. Like we had said, even on the Instagram platform, and we've also repeated here, the university have said they've set up a committee to work on this. And we've also said in earlier comments that the ESCO will look into it. So it's not something that we're going to set a timeline. The committee has to meet, come out with a position, present it to the university management. The ESCO also will have to sit, discuss about it, meet with the university management before we could say this is what it is. So if we said this is going to be resolved in 2 weeks, in 1 month, we may not be fair to ourselves. So I rather say, let us give ourselves time, within reasonable time, because what we are talking about is not only affecting other members, it also affects members of this ESCO whose wards are still in the university. So it's as important to you as it is important to the ESCO members. But we have to also be sure that whatever position we are taking going forward, that we review all the metrics that make input to the pricing and make sure that we come out with a right position that we as ESCO can enforce on all the management of the university accountable. So we wish that we'll give ourselves enough time, not push ourselves to where we'll now be looking for how to fulfill that promise.
Thank you.
Thank you, our ex-official one and the former chairman for those comments. I wouldn't know, maybe there are live comments before we take this. Okay, we'll go to the VC now to make response to that. To those
Well,
comments.
thank you very much. Let me thank the immediate past president and chairman for standing in and for his understanding of the situation. First and foremost, the food court was set up for individual vendors. The university does not run it. All we do is we moderate. So there's a unit that looks into quality and environmental sanitation of that. We have also saddled that same committee with the responsibility of looking at the comments or the complaints of the cost. And that's under best consult. They'll be meeting with the vendors so that they can look at the cost of food items being sold. Like I said, we try to moderate, we try to control, because we do not buy things for them. So, but like the chairman said, like the former immediate past chairman said, we are going to look into that. That committee will do justice to that and then give us a report. Let me leave at that point. The water shortage aspect we're talking about, the university had to look into this exhaustively. The pumps in the boreholes, we have boreholes. The pumps in the borehole kept on getting bumped. And that led us into looking at what is the root cause. I'm sure all of us are aware of the climate change. The level of water in the aquifers that is underground has gone so low during this dry season. So quite a number of our boreholes do not have proper discharge. When I'm talking as a water resources man, meaning that our pumps have to be lowered below the lowest limit. Taking into account the fact that so that we don't suck in debris and then clog the borehole too. So we're looking to that exhaustively. To look at the boreholes, look at why the pumps are burning, are getting burnt easily. In fact, it has cost university a lot until we got the root cause. Now we're thinking of lowering the pumps, making them lower than the water level we have. It's a dry period. So the water level has gone down. 2, the management has approved that will construct another tank, 65,000 liter tank, which will be to augment what we have on ground, to act as an extra storage, to bridge that gap between the shortage period and then we have excess. So we're looking at that and we have approved some fund for that construction. That will help us get more water, hopefully. Let me also mention that water that normally comes from the water board, the water works, has been very low because they also have low level water supply, meaning that in a week, they must supply only twice, maybe for 3 hours or for 4 hours. So we're actually battling with augmenting more than depending on the external supply. And that's why we're calling for understanding of parents to know that we depend on 2 sources. One, the borehole, as well as the water board. These are not inexhaustible. So sometimes we have low supply. But like we said, the management is being proactive, trying to get a very large tank of 65,000 liters to augment this. But parents will need understanding. That cannot be constructed in one day. That will take some time. Where do we locate it? How do we supply that to it? These also are modalities we need to look into. So that's for the water supply. Somebody asked a question about the internet. Well, we're thinking of radio link, and the ICT unit is working on that. As soon as that is feasible, it will be expanded. But we are interested in that very much also. So we are looking into it. Someone asked a question about PG hall residents. That's something we're interested in. But first and foremost, the regular undergraduate must be satisfied. The PG students are mature students, so we expect that they can handle themselves. But that's not to say that we're not thinking of that. Even for the undergraduate, we are thinking of having another hostel. The last design that was brought on was to have 240 capacity. We've told them to go back and make another design, maybe for about 300. This that hostel, the design we first got, so supposed to have every room and suite, meaning that the PG students can take it. They propose gold hostel, but that will be a suite. We are looking at that, but the promoter also mentioned that will be looked into. So we're looking at that. There was another comment in the chat room about meeting room. I don't know exactly what this person means. This is our Senate chamber. He says it's not good enough. Maybe I need to be educated. This is our Senate chamber where all professors meet and all department and deans meet. Maybe he wants something else. Maybe you can give us the design of what he's saying. By the time the BUPF finishes the conference hall, which we are asking for, we will not be meeting here. We'll be meeting in that conference hall, which will be quite okay. You can see exactly why we are saying that we need more conducive areas, even for international conferences. I'm glad that one of the BUPF is complaining about that. That puts the chairman on the spot, that he needs to construct that very quickly. So the next meeting will be held at that point. I think that has been taken care of also. I think those are the things that I've mentioned. Well, female bronze hostel, somebody mentioned that. I'm glad to report that even just yesterday, the DVC who management has empowered to visit the hostel gave some complaints about that, and we're going to do that. We doubled up. The DSS do a fantastic job. The authorities are doing some job, but we are also assisting so that we can have on-the-spot assessment. Management can have information and we know exactly where to direct the fund. Let me mention also that our funds are limited. I will try to spread it thinly across. I want to plead, maybe the parents, if they're listening, they should help us plead with their children, with the word, to be less, I'm trying to watch my word, to be less destructive. To be less destructive. It's very sad that you go to the hostel, you spend so much money before they come in. When they come within 2 months, within a month, they damage almost everything. Sadly, there was a time we got in there, just within a week, WC, I don't know, I've never seen where the WC got removed and it's broken. So please, we think also our parents will be partners in this to help us talk to them. The DSA and the porters are working on trying to get porters to look into the hostel per room. So they will take inventory and then they'll be able to surcharge them for damaging our facilities. Let me at this point mention, sir, that there is no year we do not buy up to 120 ceiling fans. Every year. Sadly, this year, just last week, we were informed that we need 256 fans. This question is, where did the other ones go? So these children use them as weightlifting. They will remove it and use it as weight to lift. Some of them will connect 2 fans to 1 regulator. So there are several things they do. The zombie classroom, just before they came back from lockdown, we renovated them. As I'm talking now, we need 27 fans. They will leave it on throughout the night. So these are issues we're battling with. And I want the parents to really be understanding, particularly in their comments. When things are good, they should please also comment. I don't think it's every time that we comment on negative issues. When things are good, let us also say it. In my language, there's a proverb, when you comment some, those people will do more. But if it's only complaints we get, and particularly, we paid for all this, sir, they have lights 24 hours a day. The last bill we had for IBDEC was 9 million for 1 month. And it's being augmented by diesel of about 3 million. 12 million for 1 month. Let's multiply it by 12. That's 144 million just on power supply. So these are issues that we need to look into. And then I think, having said that, to help us to see what burden, what weight management is really carrying in terms of spreading the resources thinly. Maybe I'll beg the chairman to please help us tell parents to please pay fees on time as at when due. Reason is this: management has spread these fees 40, 20, 20, 20 with the understanding, because we are parents too. 40% we are coming in first semester, before exams 20%. When you are coming second semester, 20%, and finally 20% before the final exams. We assumed that we have almost 15 weeks in between each of them. That gives the parents some leeway, some relief to be able to get money. So please, Chairman, if you can help us tell them. But we're doing our best to ensure that the students get the best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, the Vice Chancellor, for the comments. There are other comments that I will quickly go through. But before I go through that, let me remind us again that let's drop our name, phone number, and emails. And let me also say that the details of the AGM is on our website, www.bellsforum.org. Our Telegram link is also on the website. But before we close, finally, I will try to display our website Telegram link. Other comments that we have in the chat room include the issue of dress code. And very soon I will allow them to speak on that. We definitely have a dress code. Somebody is saying we have a student, maybe he or she saw a student wearing suits. Wearing suits with canvas, which looks odd. That we are not preparing them well for the public space. I think the dean of them will attend to that to tell us that we definitely have dress codes which are embedded in the handbook. And also let me say that there is also another comment that more convenient. Why do we have more convenience in bronze than silver, despite the increase in the amount being paid for silver? I think the dean of students will handle those two. But let me say that I have informed the VC is prepared to answer those questions. So the VC will tell us, and let me also say that we are open to solutions to challenges because I don't want to see them as problems. Thank you. I will hand over to the VC again to attend to the issue being raised in charge of dress codes and more convenience.
Let me highlight this, so that the VC will also take it. According to said that the way VC has spoken about the water issue suggests that the availability of water in the silver system is not in the foreseeable future. So this is
Okay. Well, when I saw that chart, I smiled. I think that is very negative. What we are doing, we are making effort to ensure that we have a very large tank of 65,000 liters. How quickly we do that? That's left for us. Because the fund is available for it, we have asked that it should be built. Rather than tell us that it's not possible, I don't know. Well, I think there's almost nothing impossible with God. So we lean on God to get us there. What climate change is not our doing. It's not our doing. But we're trying to work against that by ensuring that the pumps go. But there's a limit to the way the pump can go. Like I said, I'm a water person. I deal on boreholes too. So I know what I'm talking about. That is not possible. I don't know. Maybe it's a water person too. Maybe we can discuss. But we think very soon we'll get gradually over this. I'm sure the rains have started coming and the level of aquifer will go up. Let me commend the person who observed the dress this morning, the dressing of that student. And I'm sure management, while we were waiting to board the bus, we saw 3 of them wearing that. And we made that comment. We saw him. One of them was in multicolored sneakers, and I was in pure white. And then we commented. We said this has to be looked into. It appears to be the vogue outside. But again, the parents will have to plead with them that we will not like to hear any negative comments when we enforce this. Because executive and members of BPF, quite a number of policies we put in place. A fallout from our handbook, as well as comments from parents. And also with the background that we also, our parents, I want the best for these children. And that's what the Senate will always insist on. We will clamp down on such things, but I hope the parents will not come into that again. For convenience, is a design of the structure. But the structures were designed with the number of students per wing in mind. And from the architectural drawing, saying that that number should be able to utilize that. Again, we welcome the comments. We'll look into it and find out why it appears as if at the rush hour, it's not sufficient. Because in design, you take the peak period. The peak period might be not properly taken care of. Whatever we can do within our powers, we'll try to do it. I think I've answered the 3 questions.
I think the ESCO should also make a comment, particularly on the students dressing this morning. To me, I think parents should take responsibility for whatever was observed this morning. Essentially, is that there are 2 things. Is either the parents did not provide the child, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Is either the parents did not provide the child with the appropriate shoes, or the child just refused to dress up in appropriate manner. The matriculation day and the convocation day are the 2 most important days in a student's life. And it should be taken as such. So if a child comes out, if a child comes out not properly dressed up, yes, the university has a responsibility, and that is to enforce the university policy on dressing. And parents must also, if you want the child to come out well, then parents also should support it. And I think the ESCO will encourage the university to implement the policy of the university on dressing. Because we are here to train. And it's also interesting that on the convocation day, it will be said, having been found worthy in character. I think character comes first. I think character comes first. So character, having been found worthy in character, then learning, then you are awarded the university certificate or degree. So parents have a role to play here to ensure that the award pays attention to policies that are there in the university. Otherwise, we cannot heap all the blame on the management of the university, because we also have a role to play. So essentially, we'll look at it probably just giving room for an excuse that the child, that is all that he or she has, and he had to use that. Otherwise, if that is so, then the parents should take responsibility. But if the child has something else, then the university should implement our policy. Thank you. So that's what I need.
May I say on the final note?
Chairman, sir.
Yes, sir.
Maybe I should also commend some parents who intervened during the last resumption period from COVID. And some students had to get haircuts at the reception at the marquee. Some were to losing their colored hair. Some parents supported that. But one parent in particular drew our attention to the hairdo of the son. When we said we're going to call, he said, that's nice. Which parents will come to our aid in such? If we join forces together, a lot of things will go better. So we want to commend that parent and some others who cooperated with us and joined forces with us to ensure that the children are properly shaved when they came on board. Thank you, sir.
Let me. Okay. Oh, yeah, take it. Question for Fisi.
Vice Chancellor.
Thank you very much, the engineer on site. I didn't quite say all. There are quite a number of things in the pipeline. And let me just mention two of them. One is the hostel I mentioned earlier. And we are partnering with Alara, which is an arm of the Obasanjo Holdings, to do a BOT. They will build, operate, and then transfer. But they are interested in the hostel, but they are waiting for our design. One is a design. Two, we need the location. Our terrain where we got is a bit slopey. So when the design was brought, it means there must be a step down, which was not in the design. So I sent it back for that. That's for the hostel. Classroom, we have a design already on ground, which is being fine-tuned also to have 6 large classrooms in 3 floors. Each of them will accommodate 300 students. But then that means we can split it into 2, 150, 150. In effect, we'll be having about 12 classrooms. Also attached to that, we'll have on each floor 9 offices, meaning that for these 3 floors, we'll be expecting 27 offices. So it should be a complex, which we know we should be able to accommodate some. And that's the first phase. Once we do that, and the architects assured us, assured me just 2 days ago, that once the designs are ready, they can be sure that within 6 months, I said 6 months, they said 3 months to construct that. And they assured me because there's this quick set cement. And I told them that will be increasing costs. But that notwithstanding, if it's increasing costs and marginal enough for us to cope with, we go along with that. So there are plans on the way to accommodate this. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Vice Chancellor. On a final note, let me appreciate the parents that has taken time to log on and be part of this noble event. We highly appreciate their comments and contributions. I equally want to thank the management for efforts on issues observed that were highlighted, and we look forward to speedy completion of various interventions being highlighted to better the atmosphere, the infrastructural lapses being observed. The role of parents too, we need to look inward within ourselves. It is gladdening that the VC specifically acknowledge the role of some parents on the resumption about the appearance of their awards that were below expectation. They joined the university team to enforce discipline on the spot. So that is what we look forward to seeing. So whenever our kids are being called to order, the parents should not be fighting for them being called to order. It goes a long way to make things more difficult and make our expectation of these children very low. On the issue of bad on inappropriate dressing, well, we have a role to play. If the children were well kitted, they would not have probably put on something offensive or inadequate. And if they have been well kitted and they are not well, and the ward is not dressing well, then the parent too needs to talk to their wards to be of good behavior and appearance. In all this, all the shortcomings and expectations from the university, we parents too will have a role to play. Timely payment of fees, school fees, is being staggered in such a way to make it more comfortable and more relaxing. So we should work on paying fees in good time to support many laudable observations that needed to be done. I equally implore parents to log on to our various communication platform. They can still drop their comment. As they are dropping it, the parent forum we are seeing it. The VC and the management team they are ably represented on that forum. So it's being seen and everything will be looked into in good time. Before rounding up, I was told that VC has just a small comment to round up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm sorry to I just saw a comment. A question by one of the members on alcohol abuse. Students are being tested immediately, and I mentioned it in my address this morning. There's a drug test that students undergo as soon as you suspect them, particularly if there's a misbehavior which makes them suspect. They become suspicious that they have taken that. But what we found out, sometimes the students get to the health center, they refuse to produce urine. And such students, what we do is we suspend them. I'm glad that on this forum, a lot of comments are coming on to show that things have improved and that the parents on our forum these days are ready for their children to be properly disciplined, justifiably disciplined. So the tests are on, but students who refuse to produce urine are often being suspended immediately. So if parents note that and they cooperate with us along that line, We will eradicate that on this campus. Thank you, sir.
So it's been moved and seconded. Let's have a closing prayer by Mrs. Ologmo, our legal advisor.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father, we thank you for the grace you have afforded us in the year, every evening. For your guidance, for your direction, and for your leading. Father, I accept our thanks again in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Order our steps. Ask God that you take this in all areas, in many, all ramifications in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you, Lord, because we know you are ahead of us.
Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All the time.
Thank you all.
We'd like to thank everybody that joined us for this AGM, and we look forward. You will keep in touch with us. Thank you. Thank you. Bye for now.
Mr. Chairman.
Go and take it.